Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rollsicle. If you guys saw the update video, you guys can go check that out if you didn't, where I kind of gave an update on what's been happening with the channel and what might be happening going forward. And one of those things that I talked about is some new content, so I'm excited to be bringing that to you. And one of the things that I talked about is that I might be making that with my new girlfriend Ashley, because she was excited to make them, and she's here today. So Ashley, say hi.
Hi everyone.
Boom! Look at that. There she is. She exists. I swear. Anyways. So when I was talking to her about potential stuff to play, we were just kind of going through a bunch of the games I had, and she thought For the King looked interesting. So the first series that we're bringing to you guys, right here, For the King. Also, if anything sounds weird or if it doesn't come out well, like technical difficulty-wise, cut us a little bit of slack. We're figuring this out. We're doing a in-person recording thing, which for anyone that knows how to record on PlayStation via the provided PlayStation recording stuff, that's a little difficult. So we're making it work. We're here. Hopefully she talks.
I promise I will.
Here we go. Okay. All right, new game. So she's never played For the King before. I have. So just kind of an explanation. It's kind of like a top-down, almost like a board game, turn-based RPG. There are different adventures and different modes. So this one's just an endless dungeon crawl. It's not really a story. But I think Into the Deep, Frost Adventure, and For the King are the three actual stories, if you will. And then there's other get as far as you can without dying modes, and I don't know what Gold Rush is, but it looks interesting. For the King is the classic one, and what we'll probably be doing today, I assume. That's what you want to do. Great, so then we get to choose our difficulty. We have Apprentice, which is for new or casual players. Not a bad option. Journeyman is the experience, the adventures of Fahrhul, aka normal. And then we have Master for those seeking extreme challenge, and that's it. And it kind of tells you what you get. So in terms of, I know you don't know what a lot of it is, and even I don't remember what all of it is. Basically, this is easy mode, right? You're going to get more life and less enemies, essentially. The chaos is what makes the world harder, and that's basically how many days before you get more chaos. So it'll be 8 days instead of 6 days instead of 4 days, So life pool is how many times your characters can die. So our characters can die 6 times, 3 times, or not at all. Economy inflation is, I guess we just get cheaper items in these ones. Enemy health is down, normal, and up. What else we got here? In-turn health gain, so I guess that's a thing that you just get on all of them. And then starter items. You can start with some better stuff, the average stuff, and the same average stuff. I think you can actually custom, yeah, here we are. House rules, so you can actually make your exact set of rules if we ever wanted to. If we end up playing this a lot on the channel, maybe it'll be something that we house rule in. Chaos every 3 days.
Oh god.
Something crazy like that. You want to take on Apprentice here? Are we ashamed of easy mode? We can go up to Journeyman. I think when I beat it before with Trenton and Meredith, we were on Apprentice though, because it's suggested for new players and we hadn't really played it before.
Considering it's been so long since you played it, and I've never played it, we should probably just start with Apprentice.
Okay, cool. And then we have local co-op, which is what we'll be playing. Oh, mentioning, for those of you at home watching this, so we don't know exactly what we're doing fully with the channel yet, what all the content's going to be. If you watched the update video, I talked about how we're just going to be kind of trying different things, seeing what works, seeing what sticks. Video game content is some of the easiest to make, and it's definitely something that I and she seems to be passionate about. But does not mean that we're sticking with it. So as of right now, we're going to try to record enough of these to release about every other day, but we're not going to stick 100% to a schedule. Just kind of turn on notifications if you're really worried about being there when the video drops. And if you're not too worried about that, that's totally fine. Just check the channel when you think to, and there might be some extra videos to watch. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think it is either.
All right. Local co-op. How do I start the game? Oh, Options, create game. Okay, look, I was going to find it. In a pinch, the herbalist can use spears and bows reasonably well. Okay, so here is where we get to create our characters. So single character adventures are extremely challenging, only recommended for experienced players. So this is where we can make it only 2 players, but we are going to have a harder time if we choose to do that. We don't have to, but we can go all up to 3 players, or we can each make 1. I'll leave that up to you. What do you feel?
I think we should probably do 3 characters.
We want to do a full 3?
I mean, might as well.
All right, we'll run a full 3. All right. So this is where we get to. So here we pick their class. I am not a fan of these controls. Oh, I was almost where I wanted to be. There we go. Okay, so there's blacksmith, hunter, scholar, nope, minstrel, which I think I bought. I don't know though for sure. Blacksmith, hunter, scholar. Yeah, great. And they're kind of based on like what they're good at. So you can see the top there is their stats. They have like 6 different stats. If you're a D&D player, you can kind of see that as like strength, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and dexterity. But I think in this they have different names. But it's essentially like what they're good at, right? So the blacksmith is very strong, very constitute, has decent talent is what the juggling one is called. And then his weaker stats are like intelligence and perception and speed. Whereas if I were to close the class info and go to, say, hunter, he is going to have much higher speed, much higher perception, but significantly lower strength. Still has pretty low intelligence. And then if I were to go to scholar, you'll notice that our intelligence is an 83. So it's not a bad idea to kind of like level out the party, but you also can, if you're really feeling it, to just go like, all right, we're all blacksmiths, okay? We got fed up with our work and we're on strike.
Honestly, we should probably level out the playing field.
Okay, fair.
Probably a good choice.
Let's see. We have minstrel here, who is, is formerly educated in the performance of music. So this is your bard, right? So their highest is talent. So those are the 4 classes that we have as an option. So I think we're probably best having one of different things, right? So there's going to be one that we don't have. Typically, if I was like making this in D&D, I would probably say that you could have the wizard or the minstrel. You probably don't need both.
Okay.
Which I when I say wizard, I mean scholar. Right?
That makes
sense.
sense.
That's what my brain goes to. For an intelligence-based class, I know I'm D&D brained, or at least TTRPG brained. Pathfinder's better. Anyways, so what was that look for?
It was nothing.
Sure. I think we all know it was something. Anyways, all right. What do we want this guy to be? We want him to be a blacksmith? We're probably going to take a blacksmith. Right? We need a strength guy, right?
We do.
Throw in front of all the orcs and be like, hit him. All right. Shall we name him? That's a very blacksmithy name. Gobber.
Yes.
I don't know how you spell Gobber.
We're gonna create it today. Put your English skills to the test.
Gobber? Okay, so Gobber is the name of the blacksmith from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, you're so right.
But I don't know how you actually spell his name.
That's
We're gonna go with
close
that. It's fine. Okay, great. So then this tells us his class info, which, like I said, is probably worth knowing. So though lacking experience in combat, the blacksmith knows armor, sometimes turning toward the enemy lets the armor absorb what would have been used. So he has a passive skill called Steady. Now, here's the thing. I know you're very excited for this game, right? But as you'll see when we start playing, this game has a lot of rules and a lot of passive skills. It's not a bad thing, but it can be a lot.
Okay,
it can be very overwhelming, and we will probably die on our first couple runs.
You know, that's okay. That's okay.
He starts out with the blacksmith's hammer, a simple iron shield, and then 11 gold.
Okay, cool.
All right, so then we can close his class info, and we can pick his look. So we can either have him, I mean, if we're going with Gobber, we should probably make him male.
Probably.
We get between these 2 outfits. We either have him like that, which is much more Gobber from How to Train Your Dragon. So I think I'm going to go with that one. You have to give him the Viking helmet, right? And then he can either have a pelt or a backpack. I think we're going to go with the pelt.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we can change his color scheme.
Interesting.
That is interesting. What do we want his color scheme to be?
I feel like the one from How to Train Your Dragon is just brown.
Yeah, I mean that's a brown.
That is a brown.
That brown. That's not a very pretty brown. Nope, it's getting worse. It is definitely. We're gonna go with that.
We're gonna go with that.
Skin tone. Nope. I mean they're pale Vikings, but
yeah,
we'll go with that, I guess.
Bright white.
He actually has like blonder-ish hair,
yes.
So we'll maybe go with that one.
I like it.
Yeah, I like the first one.
That's very Gobber.
Great. Good enough, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Good old Gobber. All right. Who do we want for... Okay, so we have a blacksmith.
Okay.
Do we want a hunter, which is like ranged attacks, essentially, right? He's going to be your bow and arrowist, if you couldn't tell by the character in front of you.
Realistically, probably yes.
Okay,
we're
great.
only going to want one intelligence character.
This guy is... So he has the skill Elite Sneak and Elite Trap Evasion, and then the passive skills Energy Boost and called shot. So that's
Okay.
a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Not exactly sure what that does. You can look it all up in the rule book. What?
Nothing.
No, what was that
I
smile
find it
for?
so funny. There's a rule book, but we're gonna roll with it.
I told you it was like a board game, essentially, just in a game, right? So.
I'm getting that a lot more now. I'm still very excited.
Do you not like board games?
I love board games. You know that.
Okay. Anyways, oh shit. All right, we're back. Let's see. What do we want this guy's name to be? Or girl? Do we want to see what we can make her a girl? So let's see what the girl version of Hunter looks like. Okay, I like it. Jesus Christ. No. I gotta go down here to hit back. And then name. What do we want our name to be?
That's a really good question.
Okay. Well.
You're probably a lot better at naming things because you do run the D&D.
Okay. Sure.
I am bad at naming things.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, if you asked me to just generate a random name on the spot.
Yes.
Gianna.
Perfect.
Gianna. Boom. All right. What do we want good old Gianna to look like? You can go with that one or that one.
I like that one better.
This one or this one?
That one.
That one, okay. We can give her the good old, like...
Robin Hood vibes.
Robin Hood hat, essentially. Or no.
Let's give her a Robin Hood hat.
Okay, she's gonna get the hat, and then backpack or pelt, or the backpack for her has arrows, so we're gonna go with the backpack. And then we can change the color here. We can like, what's a Gianna color?
Probably, I like the red. I think the red was a very Gianna
You
color.
like the red?
Yes.
Okay. Great. We like the skin tone.
Yes.
Good enough. Do we want her to keep the red hair?
Yes.
We
Absolutely.
can go redder. If you guys can't tell by her tone when saying that, Ashley has red hair, so now she's got to represent, right?
Okay, like that's a bad thing.
We can go literally red.
Sure.
No. We will let it represent. Okay, do you want this one or this one?
I like that one. That's a lot closer to what I have.
Okay, cool. Back. All right, and then our last one. Do we want to run Scholar, which is more of like a wizard type, or do we want to run
The minstrel.
the minstrel, which is much more of like a bard type?
I think we have to go with the bard type.
Okay, let's go with the bard type. Do we want it to be a boy or a girl?
Boy.
Okay, so we're running a okay. Great. These are our options here. We went with the non cold one for all of the others.
True.
So we want him to have the little cap.
I'll probably give him the cap.
Okay, we're gonna give him the cap. Backpack or pelt. I think we're gonna go with backpack.
Yes.
Main color.
Oh no.
You know, like the
Absolutely
pink,
not. No, that's a choice.
blue, lighter blue. I can actually get behind that one.
That actually looks okay. That looks good.
You like this one?
I think it looks good. I think it kind of goes like in more muted colors like everyone else.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. Can make them the same sunburnt as everyone else, even though it's the second lightest skin color.
It is
What maybe?
weird.
Nope, that's
all...
wow.
Ooh.
We are now a goblin.
It's okay. They can be
We'll
goblins.
make them the sunburn. All right. Do we want him to look a little? Oh God, that just looks mad.
It does.
We can make it purple.
Oh, interesting.
We can make it green to match the rest of him.
That would be a choice.
Okay.
I feel like our bard would do that though.
Okay, great. Oh God, not
No.
again. No. Okay. Back.
Now you need to name him.
And what do we want? I'm feeling Jester.
Jester. Oh, okay.
I feel like that fits.
Jester the minstrel.
Yep.
I love it.
All right. We have Gobber, Gianna, and Jester. Are you
Huge
ready?
fan. Yes.
Do you happen to see what I pressed to start the game? Oh, I see. Individually, I have to hit ready. Ready.
Okay.
And then
I was like,
ready,
no, darling, I don't.
And then ready. All
Okay,
right,
cool,
there
cool.
we go. All right. The brink of chaos. Good King Bronner has been slain. The once powerful kingdom of Fahrhul is being corrupted by wild chaos energy and ravaged by monsters and bandits. The grieving Queen Rosamond has called for Fahrhul's ordinary citizens to search the land for the king's murderer and the source of the chaos energy. The tale now begins in the Guardian Forest, where there have been rumors of suspicious activity and sinister strangers in the woods. 3 would-be heroes meet in Orton to begin. their quest. And we're here. It begins. Rosamond, Queen of Fahrhul. First the wizard Vexor vanishes, then my own husband was slain in his palace. You may be the last hope of Fahrhul. She looks like she is, like, squinting in the sunlight. You see
She
that?
absolutely does. Like, she is looking
Seek out
fun.
Hildebrand in Woodsmoke. You will be told how best to aid our effort. Your quest has begun. Strive against this chaos, lest our realm be consumed by it.
I love that you're reading it in a female voice and you have a female who could read it.
So true. Would you rather read for the female?
I'm here for the female voice.
No, it's fine. You haven't seen me run D&D. I run a lot of any gender characters, so I don't think about it. But
I believe it.
was it a bad female voice?
No,
I mean,
not at
considering
all.
that I'm not a female. All right, so this is where the game begins.
Okay.
If we go to, I think it's help. This is the rule book.
Okay.
This is the rule book.
Wow.
There is a lot, but I think it will probably be better to just kind of explain as we go.
Yeah, realistically.
There are a lot of, where is it? I think it's special abilities or something like that down here, where we can see what our character's stuff actually is. So, for example, Elite Sneak requires only one slot to sneak.
Cool.
The Hunter has that, right? He also, I think, had Elite Trap Evasion, which requires fewer slots to avoid trap. So these are kind of the details. So if we see something like that...
I know that our Hunter had called Shot, which means he'll have a chance of perfect roll with bows.
Great. And I think one of them had Steadfast. I think the Blacksmith.
Yes, he
Which
did.
is chance to completely negate damage from attack when shield is equipped.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you want to kind of keep these things in mind. And this is, again, not teaching you all of this just yet. But we'll kind of learn it as we go. And honestly, if there was a tutorial and it's not happening because I've played this before, I apologize.
It's okay. We're gonna make it through.
Go to Woodsmoke in the Guardian Forest. So this is where we are now in control. It is Gobber's turn.
Okay.
This is a roll to see how many movements we have on the board each turn.
Got it.
So if we are Gobber right now.
Okay.
If I go to, is it inventory? Yes. You can see, so the number that we have, the way that they do rolls here are essentially, if we were playing this in person, are D100s. They are percentile based.
Got it.
Okay? So every time we roll strength, we have an 81% chance of success.
Okay,
every
cool.
time we roll constitution or vitality, I think is what it's called in this game, we have an 85% chance of success.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when we rolled for movement, those two golden ones are guaranteed. And then each one after that, we had a 61% chance of success.
Okay,
so
cool.
honestly, the fact that we got all 5 with him is actually pretty good, right? Like, we should probably average out at about 3 to 4 with him.
That makes sense.
And we actually got all 5. But this is where you can see your equipped items. You can go through your inventory, all sorts of good stuff like that. You can also switch between them when you're in this mode, so we can kind of take a look at everyone. So, for example, Gianna is going to get a lot more movement consistently. She still might not get all 5 because
but we're more likely to get all 5
But she has an 83% chance every time she does roll for it.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Great. Okay, so if I can back out of that, somehow, some way, there's a way to, like... What does cycle camera mean? Interesting. Okay, so our goal right now is to get to Woodsmoke, right? We have the Queen's Call in the top corner here. Go to Woodsmoke in the Guardian Forest, right? That is our objective, if you will. And what will happen is the bar at the top is the days.
Okay.
Each day, we each get 1 turn.
Okay.
So we'll each get a turn, then we'll move to the next day. Then we each get a turn, we'll move to the next day.
Okay.
That skull symbol is a chaos.
Got it.
When that happens, chaos ensues, and the world gets harder, things get more dangerous.
Okay.
Random things happen, and it goes in these little, if you guys see those little empty black slots next to the Guardian Forest, it'll go there when that happens. And if we ever get to 3 chaos, I think we lose the game.
Okay.
But
so
if we don't, it
not
gets
get
really
chaos.
bad. But there are things we can do around the world that'll be like, get rid of 1 chaos.
Oh, okay. So you can always backtrack it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But you see how having it every 8 days on easy mode is much nicer than every 6 days, is much nicer than every 4 days on hard mode. Every 4 days on hard mode is really difficult.
Oh, I believe
Or
that.
I guess I shouldn't say day, right? Because it's day-night. Like, we're on day 1. all through the blue, and then we're not on day 2 until we get through the blue again. Because there are certain things that can only spawn at nighttime, which are those purple rectangles up top. Again, pretty complicated game when you really start breaking it down. Okay, great. So, in this case, our goal is to get up here, but there are certain things that we can do. So like this, for example, more information. This is when we'll start using the rulebook, right? Because, so what is this? Well, it is a Sanctum of Haste. It gives you +2 movement bonus.
Got it.
What does that mean? I'm not exactly sure. So Sanctums are Fahrhul ancient monuments to the many gods. Characters may devote themselves to a single god and become their champion. Upon becoming a champion, the character is fully healed, granted a powerful semi-permanent buff. Each god bestows unique buffs, but may only be devoted to it by a single character. If the champion falls in battle, the life pool does not decrease, however, the Sanctum will crumble. So it gives them an extra life.
Okay.
But, essentially, you lose your Sanctum benefit if you die.
Got it.
Now, this particular Sanctum gives +2 movement bonus. That is not, to my knowledge, the same as... Oh, here we can see our abilities, right? So we have... Oh, it's not steadfast, it's steady.
Okay, we were looking at the wrong thing then.
Yeah, we were looking at the wrong one. But it should still be there, right? So we can go here, go to help, go down to special abilities, and probably find steady. Maybe not.
No, but I... Interesting.
That is interesting.
Maybe it's under something else?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's supposed to be steadfast. I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, we can look at the other one here, like enemy taunt. I don't know what that... Let's see. We also have energy boost. We can look for both of those, maybe? Let's see. Enemy taunt or energy boost. Enemy taunt is on there. Force enemies to attack player and gain small armor and resistance boost. That's interesting.
Energy boost is also on there, and it's chance to gain an additional action point at the end of turn.
So I would actually not go as far as to say that steady and steadfast might not be the same thing.
Okay.
And they just happen to have typoed there a little bit.
Possibly, or they changed the name.
Because everything, let's see, encourage, inspire, and support range. Let's see if those are there, right? Encourage, inspire, support range. Encourage is, inspire is, and support range. Okay, I really think steady is probably the same as steadfast.
Most likely.
So again, what does that do? Well, encourage has a chance to turn a party member's failed shot into a success. Great. Inspire is a chance to grant a small XP boost to party members within 2 hexes. Great. And support range is join combat from an additional hex away, which is pretty good too. Okay, so +2 movement bonus. I don't think that is actually the same as the speed. Okay. I think that legitimately means every turn you're going to get to move 2 more.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
That does feel right, though.
But that feels right.
Yeah.
Which means I would probably wait and let Gianna get this one, right? Just because
she's a better chance of rolling 5 every turn.
Yeah, exactly. Which if she's getting an additional +2, that might be 7, and she will be really good at when we okay, we need someone to get up to Woodsmoke, but not everyone has to go up to Woodsmoke, right? Okay, so where do we want our good old boy Gobber to go? So he can take on enemies, right? Like that's a thing that you can do. But the way that it works is every square attached to every hex that is attached to the enemy, they'll pull those in. That includes allies. So in this case, he would fight this whole Bloodbird camp by himself. And the level of the enemies is above the camp. So they're all going to be level 2. He would die.
That I believe.
But he could go up here and maybe fight this 0 hag. Now you'll notice this hag is pulling in a lot more. It's pulling in 2 hexes away. So it's actually going to pull in this crow as well, that we can't see because of the fog of war, which is actually a crow swarm, so that's not good. We really don't want him to fight that.
No.
Because it's going to pull in all of them. So realistically, I think we probably just have him start making his way up here.
Probably.
Maybe put him there.
That's a good choice.
Boom. Okay. You found Lucky's Vault, home of Fergus the Mad. Defeat the scourge within before it awakes on the timeline, or be prepared to suffer its effects. Great. So this is Lucky's Vault. It's a level 2 dungeon, essentially, where we fight a boss.
Okay.
He will eventually show up on the map.
Got it.
We want to defeat him before that happens, but we're also not high enough level to take him on right now.
Absolutely.
So I think we still probably just go maybe here.
Probably.
Great. We should be able to. You can move through it without a problem. So now we've ended our movement, but there are still other things we could do on our turn. First of all, we have these things called focuses.
Okay.
They let you do a couple of different things. You can use them to get 1 extra movement per focus. Mm-hmm. You can use them to auto-succeed a roll.
Got it.
In a case where, like, you need to get to wood smoke and you're 1 hex away and you don't want to wait a whole nother turn, you can use, like, 1 focus to get yourself in there. But focuses only come back on certain things, right? I think we get a full focus, and when it says fully healed, it doesn't say fully return your focuses, right? So focuses are hard to get. You get them all back when you level up, I know that. And the XP is at the bottom there. See how it says 3 out of 25? Yeah. That's the XP.
Okay.
So they will not all level up at the same time all the time. But yeah, right now we don't have anything to do, so then we just hit the touchpad here, and it switches his turn to Gianna's turn. So here we'll see her roll her 5. And she failed 2 of them. That's very unlikely, right? But it happens. And in this case, it's actually going to prevent her from, because we don't really want to go into that, right? No. So I don't think we can stop on that and not go in, but we can try it.
It doesn't have to try.
I think we might be able to. I think we can just hit leave.
Yeah.
And she just is on that spot. She's just
staying there.
Yeah, cool. And again, we'll probably take her up to here.
Yes.
Now, what you'll notice is some of the map is not revealed at all, right?
Okay.
But the rest of the map that has these little question marks on it could have things there, like Lucky's Vault. Okay. That is unexplored hexes, and they have a chance to spawn random things.
Okay.
So it's worth having someone maybe go around this way just to see what's over there, right? Certain things like enemies will always be shown unless they're an ambush enemy, in which case they're hiding in the little what we think is safe.
Which makes sense.
But yeah, so we don't have anything else for her to do. Oh, something I can show you. For the record, everyone at home, we're not going to be going into this much detail every episode, right? Once we get a hang of things, we have a hang of things. These are like consumables that we can use. They usually are used during combat, but they do have certain uses outside of it, and some of them are only used out of combat. Okay. So, for example, Hermit Grass says, use this herb while traveling to become undetectable, which means that you can't be detected. Basically, it keeps you invisible from enemies, from like ambush enemies and stuff like that. Use it during combat to give yourself plus 25 evasion. And what evasion is it's your bottom green thing. You have armor, magic armor, and evasion. Okay. Armor is how much damage from physical attacks you will resist. So if we have 3 armor and we take 4 damage, we will only take 1. Okay. Good magic armor is how much magic damage you resist. So if we take 4 magic damage and we have 1 magic armor, we'll only take 3. Evasion is, to my knowledge, a % chance that you dodge all damage. Okay. So our Gianna has 23% chance to just not take any damage, and can for 1 turn actually give herself 48% chance to just dodge all damage.
Okay, got it.
So that's what Hermit Grass does. God's Beard, pretty simple. Give yourself 15 hit points back. Our hit points are the big red number. They're the most obvious one. And Golden Root can be used on the map or in combat to give you 3 focus back. Okay. Tinder Pouch is great. You can use it to create a camp at which the parties can heal and regain focus and stuff like that. So you'll find that in towns like Woodsmoke, which we're about to go to, and even Orton, where we start, you can go to inns and heal up and replenish your focuses. This is basically a town on the move. Got it. The only difference is that
a little camp.
Towns have stores and quests that you can get and stuff like that. This would just be a camp where you can heal and stuff like that. But it's still really good. And then Safety Stone. This item will provide instant travel to a nearby town, but at a significant cost. All stats go down by 1. Okay. But it is like we're in a shitty situation and we just need to get out. That is given, to my knowledge, only on easy difficulty, right? This is you're a new player and you put yourself in a corner, right? Because all your stats being -1 really isn't going to kill you. And to my knowledge, that is what we all start with. Correction, she has Hermit Grass, the other 2 don't. But other than that, that's what we all start with. And then you have different, should point this out, different items, right? So, for example, our, let's go to her, because that's who we're looking at, right? She has 1 armor and 1 resistance that comes from her old boots, right? I guess she also just has 1 armor and 1 resistance that comes from her. Okay. Because I'm not seeing anything else about that. Let's see detailed stats. Oh, there's a lot going on here.
It doesn't say where like her armor.
It doesn't say where it necessarily comes from. So I'm gonna assume that everyone starts with one of each.
Got it.
That's what I'm gonna assume. That's what I'm gonna assume. And then we have hunting bow. This is her weapon, right?
Got it.
Now all weapons are gonna have a certain amount of damage.
Okay.
They're also gonna have certain things that they give. So this is giving her +3 evasion. So she starts with 20 evasion probably, and gets 3 from her bow. And then it also has +15% damage against flying. It is also giving her the support range, which, like I said, it pulls in allies that are 1 hex away. She can be pulled in from 2 hexes away because she has a bow, right? It kind of makes sense. And then it also, the thing in yellow there, I know this is a lot.
That's okay.
The thing in yellow there, shot and snipe shot, are the 2 different types of attacks you can do with the bow. So if I go to more information, it tells me what those are. So shot is a 3 check. That's what those little 3 eyes means. It'll make 3 checks. And based on how many of those we get, it'll hit a single target for up to 6 damage.
Okay.
So it probably does 2, 4, 6, if I had to guess.
Makes sense.
Snipe shot is a little bit different. It's still 3. It's still a maximum of 6. It's still a single target. But our percent chance of succeeding is at -10. So instead of 83%, it's at 73%. But the catch is that it ignores armor. So if we go up against someone with 6 physical armor, we can't do any damage to them.
Yeah.
She can via snipe shot.
Got it.
AKA, she aims for like his face, so where the armor's not, right? So you have -10% accuracy, but you ignore armor because the arrow to the forehead is still going to do some damage, right? Like
that is true. I think an arrow to the forehead would kill just about anybody.
So that's just an example. Again, we'll learn in combat what the rest of this stuff does, but he has 2, and then he also has 2, right? It has smash and shockwave. You'll notice that in this case, smash is single target, shockwave is actually a splash damage effect. So you can hit all 3 of the enemies, if there's 3 of them, for up to 10 damage, but you're at -10 accuracy.
Okay, got it.
Or, sorry, you hit 1 for up to 10, the other 2 around him can take up to 5 at -10 accuracy.
That makes sense.
But sometimes you'll want to do that, and so on and so forth. You'll notice one of his armors comes from that, and then one of them in the resistance comes from the boots.
Got it.
Yep, we're running.
I love that they're not just boots, they are old boots.
Yes.
Had to make that.
Well, because regular boots probably actually give you better stuff. Like, we're at some pretty shitty equipment here, all things considered. You can also see how much gold they have, so 11, 8, and 15. You can always share gold, but I think you can only share gold when you're next to the hexes of each other, or possibly even on the same hex. So no one is nearby, so we can't share gold there.
Okay, makes sense.
Great. Okay, so she's stopping there. No reason to do anything with her this turn, but I just wanted to show you all of that. Boom, in turn. Now we're on to Jester. Jester has decent speed, so he might roll high. But again, you never know. Okay, he got 4. Great. I'm going to have him go around this way maybe, right? I feel like we just start exploring.
Yeah.
See if he runs into anything.
He did not.
He did not. Great. And that's it.
That's okay.
Right? That's a full turn. Also, to my knowledge, if you go to a thing, all adjacent hexes are considered explored, right? Because you can see into them. It makes sense. So if we go here, it would explore these 2 hexes.
Okay, got it.
Right? Just like he went here, and it explored this hex.
That makes sense.
Great. End his turn. And that's it. So then the whole day shifts up top. So a question mark like that is like something extra specially important. Right?
Okay.
Now here we can go into a combat. It looks like this hag is going to bring in both of our allies because they both have support range.
Got it.
So they are both able to be pulled in from an extra hex
And then
away.
it will also bring in that.
But it will also be bringing in the forest nibbler.
Ooh.
Now combat's important, and I think it's worth trying.
Might as well.
Let's go for it. Now, one thing you'll notice is there are options here. We can either fight them, okay? We can ambush them, which means that it will isolate the enemy, so it won't pull anyone in.
Okay.
And we also gain initiative, which means we will have a whole extra turn, essentially, before they will. It's really good to take out single enemies, but it's perception-based. So our fighter, who has a perception of 57, is probably not the one to do it.
No.
But when we're having Gianna run around, she can kind of single-handedly start taking enemies out because she can pretty successfully
get the
thing. Now, sneak is if we want to move through an enemy space without starting combat.
Okay.
And it uses speed. You'll remember that Gianna has elite sneak, so she only has to succeed at one thing.
Okay.
So you'll notice when you look at our speed, we have 61%.
Got it.
If you do 61% twice, that gives you the 37% success. So even though we have 61% chance at a roll, they always tell you what your percent chances of the successes are.
Got
so
it.
you don't have to do math.
Perfect, because the math is
So
never
if we
gonna
wanted
come
to
easy.
ambush, we have a 57% chance 3 times,
Okay.
which ends up being a 19% chance. Because it tells you 3 successes is a 19% chance, 2
Got it.
successes is a 42%, and then it tells you the outcome: failure, 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 and success. And then lastly, you have retreat, which is just return to the previous X.
Okay.
But ambush is very powerful. Now, something that you know, you can use focus here. And you also, to my knowledge, I'm going to test it, so don't kill me if I'm wrong, but you can put a focus without actually spending it. And it will tell you what your percent changes to. So if I want to see, hey, if I use one focus, how much more likely does it get that I ambush her? Oh, well, it went from 19 to 45. If I use 2 focus here, it goes up to 72.
Okay,
Maybe
sense.
I want to do that. In this case, I don't. We're just going to fight her normal.
Yeah.
All right, we're in. All right, welcome to combat. So combat is based on the initiative of... Oh, great. Here we go. This enemy has immunities. Some enemies are immune to certain types of debuffs. These immunities will show in white underneath their health bar. So she's immune to burning, freezing, and electric.
Got it.
And he's immune to bleeding, confusion, and something else, I think. Or maybe that last one is bleeding, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
They also have a certain amount of health, and the turn order is in the top. So the amount of turns that you get and how common your turns are is based on your speed. So you'll notice our dexterous one is up first.
Got it.
And you'll also notice she's going, and then they'll have a turn, and then she's actually going to get to go twice before their next turn because her speed is so much faster than theirs, essentially. So here is where we'll see what we've seen before, right? We can either shoot, or shot. We can snipe shot, or we can run away.
Okay.
Those are the only options. And then we can change who we're targeting. So in this case, we can go like, okay, do we want to try to focus down the hag before her turn? And maybe she never gets a turn.
True.
Or do we want to focus down the nibbler and maybe he never gets a turn? It's kind of up to us, right? I think focusing on the hag is probably more likely because it looks like we're doing about 5 to 6 damage a turn.
Yeah.
So we might end up not killing him if our rolls are bad.
Yes.
And here. So you'll notice here it tells us we have an 83% chance per slot.
Okay.
It does not tell us our chance of getting all of the successful slots, but you can imagine it goes down, right?
Yeah.
So, and that 83 should be based exactly on our dexterity, right?
Okay.
So, or sorry, not our dexterity, our perception. They just both happen to be 83. Okay, so we want to shoot at her?
Yes.
Great. Do we want to use any focus? Focus takes it up to a 93% chance per slot.
Maybe not yet.
Okay.
Unless you feel like we should.
Nope. I think we should just attack normally.
Okay.
But I'm just showing you something we can do. Great, we got 2 out of 3, so it went up to 6. So now we're on to him. Now we haven't actually looked at what his stuff does. So he has a 6%, or sorry, an 83% chance per slot for 6 magic damage. And if we perfect, it actually ignores magic resistance.
Okay.
Which is really important. Neither of them have any resistances that you can see here. But what we can see is that he also has this one, which only does 3 damage, but if we perfect it, it has a chance to daze the target.
Okay.
Now, the forest nibbler is immune to daze. That's what that middle one means. But the hag isn't necessarily. So we might want to do that. But we also, what's better than a dazed target? A dead target.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think here we should probably just do the damage. But if we're ever curious, and I don't actually know, right? We're going to learn as it goes on. Somewhere in here, like maybe what buffs and debuffs or something like that would be where it teaches us what daze even does. It very briefly halted on timeline. So it probably takes away like 1 turn, or even if it doesn't take away a turn, it might move the turn back or something like that.
Got it.
So that's what it does. Make sense?
Yes.
Great. Do we want to just alto it?
Probably just alto it.
Okay.
Rather dead than dazed.
Going in here. All right, probably 4 damage as well.
Okay.
Yep, 4 damage. So here is where we could hit her and just guaranteed kill her. Physical damage 10. Like, we're gonna kill her. Or we could even, oh, it looks like we have a shield ability that our shield gives us, which is draw attention, right?
Okay.
So on a 72, we basically make them attack us and give us a bit of extra protection as well if we wanted to. But in this case, I think it's better to probably kill her.
Most likely.
But what we'll notice here is we can actually target him and hit her with some splash damage, but we only do the splash on a perfect.
Okay.
Right? And we only have a 71% chance per slot. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if we want to up that chance per slot, we can start, just putting in focuses. We don't have to. Or we can just say, hey, we're going to take some damage, but we're just going to single her out and kill her.
True.
Because the focus, the perfect is rather rare, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Honestly, we should probably just make sure she's dead.
Just focus her down?
Just make sure she's dead.
Let's focus her down. Great.
She's real dead.
She is real dead. Now, Forest Nibbler's going to get a turn. He did get a perfect there, so we are now bleeding, which is not good.
No.
Let's find out what bleeding does. So that's going to be here. Take large infrequent damage.
Great.
That's not good, right? We want to not be bleeding.
Yes.
But at this point, we really have no choice but to just start focusing him down, right? Just start rolling damage. We always love to see maximum damage.
Oh, yeah.
Here, we're going to do the same thing. Good, perfect. So that... Oh, we got a critical on that, so that's nice. We're almost guaranteed to do 4 damage here, so...
Yeah.
Cut it close.
Okay.
And down with the Nibbler. At the end of combat, we all get XP. And then everyone is offered their stuff. So this is we can either collect the money and have it just be with him, or we can share it about as equally among the masses as we want. So because we don't have someone saving up for something specific, I'm just going to hit share.
Makes sense.
But this is where we do get to like kind of pass or give it to people if we want. Godsbeard is the one that heals health, and I would probably say is better off in with our blacksmith because he's going to be the one to take the hit more often than not. So I'm going to have him collect it, and that's everything.
Okay.
That's a combat.
That's awesome.
That's how combat works, and we still have movement left, right? So our goal is to head up to Woodsmoke.
Yes.
So I'm just going to have him keep on trekking. Oh, we ran into something here. Okay, interesting. Here we have a chance to regain all focus or lose all focus. I'm not going to take that risk because we have all of our focus, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to leave. You'll notice this little symbol up here means you can't use focus on this ability,
okay, that makes
which
sense.
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If I could use one focus to guarantee I get all my focus back, that'd be an easy choice.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So,
broken.
but if you had the Scholar and we had an 81% chance to get his focus back or something like that, this might be a really good risk to take.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to risk it.
No.
And we're going to keep on tracking. Yeah, you'll notice see it cleared those two, so it does that thing
Okay.
there. Anything that's near it, please.
Perfect.
All right, nothing else to do on his turn. We're going to hopefully get Gianna into her tower. Good enough.
Okay, you know what? We're getting places.
Okay, so we are going to have her go here. We're going to devote.
Absolutely.
All right, Rowan, god of haste. Go, hero. Let the wind guide you. I don't know if it's male or female. Gianna has gained +2 movement speed. All right. So it looks like we could still go to the meditation spot if we wanted to. But we also can't get through these trees, so we have to go that way. So we're going to have her go there. And we're just going to have her leave.
Yeah. There's no point in her being there.
But you will notice, if I go to inventory now, and I go to, where is it? Share gold. She can now share with him. She can also share items, because they are adjacent to each other.
Got it.
So that's kind of how you can do that.
Interesting.
Which is why it's a good time to share items when you're in combat like that, like pass them to who you want them to have, because otherwise you're going to have to get within a hex of each other. So that's going to be the end of her turn. And now this bad boy's just going to get as far as he can. Pretty solid, actually.
Wow.
So we're just going to have him move through everyone's square here.
Yeah, might as well.
Or hex. I keep saying square, but great. Lovely. Anything?
No, I mean, realistically. Just move to get them all in the wood smoke.
Alright, good old Gobber's up with only 3, but that's all he needed to get to the town.
Perfect.
So we're going to just have him trek forward. Boom, complete.
Awesome.
Alright, Hildebrandt. Always good to see new faces join the quest. I am Hildebrandt, the Queen's agent overseeing things in the Guardian Forest. Things are bad here. Really bad. All signs point to some evil folk who have locked themselves away in the glittering mines. Great, a new place to go.
Ah, lovely. Right back
I'll
where
work
we
on
came.
getting you down there. In the meantime, a strange corruption has been spotted. Contraption has been spotted. I can read.
Sure you can.
I'm sorry, you want to read for everyone now? Is that
No,
what you're
I'm
offering?
okay.
Alright, go investigate it. And some angry folk in fancy robes have made themselves right at home. Best prepare for a good fight. Alright, great.
Cool.
So, should be noted. Great, we completed the quest. So here it says, so we have new objectives in the top right,
Okay.
right? We have solve the cult device in the Guardian Forest.
Alright.
And kill the Chaos Leader in the Guardian Forest.
Lovely.
So this is, ooh.
That's gonna be
This is the Chaos Leader, which is a level 1 camp.
Okay.
We're not level 1 yet,
No.
but it is better than the level 2 camp that was down here when we started.
True.
Right? That's the thing. And then this is the cult device, which we can see is based on talent. So we're going to want Jester to get there.
Yes, that is his goal.
There's also other stuff to discover.
Oh, cool.
You know, a crow that we could fight. Now this is a swarm. It should be noted that a swarm is there's only ever 3 enemies, right?
Okay.
So if it's already a swarm, they're not going to pull any other enemies in because there's already 3 of them.
Got it. We just have to fight 3 crows.
Yes. A camp is also always going to be 3.
Okay.
So a
makes
camp is never going to pull in other enemies because there's
No.
already 3. And that's what that little 3-person symbol there means next to
Got
the
it.
next to the level. Okay, and then lastly, when you're in a town, or I should say when you end your turn in a town, you can do the things in the town. So the town offers services for gold, which is get HP and focus, get all your focus back, get all your health back, and remove ailments such as bleeding, or I guess bleeding ends at the end of combat, but you can get like cursed and stuff like
Okay.
that. And then blessing removes all curses.
Got it.
So I guess those are different ailments and curses, but still. So that's what you can do there. We have a market where we can buy items.
Love it.
I am a huge fan of upgrading, where is it? Our pipes. Because what
Okay.
our pipes do is all of those herbs that do things,
Yes.
it makes them all stronger. God's Beard goes up from 15 to 30.
Oh.
Panax, which you haven't found yet, goes up from -1 poison to -2 poison.
Okay.
Golden Root goes from +3 focus to +4 focus. So generally upgrading our pipes are pretty powerful.
Got it, that
Because
makes
it just makes all of this stuff more powerful.
Absolutely.
But it
That's
costs
what you
18
want.
gold. So
We'll get there when we get there.
we'll get there when we get there. And then lastly, we can actually take quests. So we can take a bounty here to reduce chaos, right?
Okay.
A group of cultists have been spotted in the Guardian Forest. No one is quite sure. Kill the Chaos Acolyte in the Guardian Forest. If we accept it, it will reduce a chaos.
Okay, cool.
Which isn't necessarily bad.
Got it.
And then you can also do ones for items, right? So like this is a powerful item, but it is a glass bow. Now what that means is it does a ton of damage.
Mm-hmm.
It has a really hot... the glass weapons are a whole subclass of weapons.
Got it.
They only have 1 check, but you'll notice on the left here there are some symbols.
Okay.
What those symbols means is it's two-handed. All bows are two-handed. You can't use focus on it, which makes sense for this last part. The last part says when you do fail, the weapon breaks.
Got it.
That's why it's glass. It does
Makes
a ton of damage and it's really powerful, but eventually you're
It's
gonna
gonna-
fail
Yeah.
and it's gonna break. But it's really nice while you have it.
That makes sense.
So not a bad weapon to pick up. You know, and it's something that you can always like save for a boss fight, right? You can always
Yes.
equip your normal bow and then put this in for a boss fight.
Absolutely.
And then bounty is for 30 gold and the exploration is for 14 gold. So we can
Okay.
take really any or all of these. I don't know if there is a limit. I don't know if you can only take 1 at a time. I haven't really tested the
Okay.
I think reduce chaos is a very important one, so I'm going to accept that.
All right.
So we now have someone up there in the top right that
Okay.
we theoretically should try to get to and kill.
Got it.
Alright, anything else you want to do while in Woodsman?
Probably not.
Okay, it looks like when you take a quest, you lose the other ones, so that's good to
Okay,
know. Because
good
I
to
would
know.
really like that glass bow.
That would have been a
but-
good one to take. But maybe it's just like
Okay.
per... But it might just be per little
Yeah,
turn.
fair. Okay. We want to intern?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think we have much, right? We're not gonna.
I don't think so.
I don't think we're gonna buy any of this stuff. I mean,
No,
you
probably
can
don't
buy
want
new
Allied.
weapons here if you want to get like a spear. I mean, Traveler's Hat
Get a
isn't
hat.
horrible. Actually, hold up. I wonder if movement is what that stat is called. I don't know. We'll find out later. Scholar's Wraps. -1 strength, but you get +2 resistance and +1 intelligence.
Interesting.
You can kind of compare it to what you have equipped right now. Nothing crazy. I don't think we need to buy anything right now. We can always come back.
Absolutely.
There is a Adventurer's Code, purchase or repair ocean vessels. So
Intriguing.
you do need to make a boat to travel on the water.
Okay.
That sort of stuff. But that is some later game stuff. All right, I'm going to intern, and we're going to see what good old Gianna's up to.
Okay.
It is indeed +2 actual movement that she gets every single turn.
Awesome.
So she is our little speed demon.
Yes.
That being said, we don't really want her to...
You don't have to fight anyone on her own.
Well, that's interesting, because she can ambush.
Okay, true.
We can make her a bit of like an ambush predator, if you will. Now, one thing I don't know if that exists. It would be really interesting if it does. You know how she has elite sneak?
Yes.
I wonder if there's elite ambush, where you only have to succeed at one
be.
thing to ambush.
There is.
Oh, do you see it?
Yeah,
Elite ambush. Yeah, so that would be instead of 3. Or 3 for camps, which is interesting. But I'm gonna I think we're just gonna have her maybe move to this something unknown.
Sure.
I don't know what this is, honestly.
Glittering Mines.
Glittering Mines. We unlock that later. So up here, we do have to take on this Chaos Acolyte camp at some point, but that's also level 1, so I'm a little hesitant to do that with just her. We could have her go over here and maybe like fight this guy. It would bring in all of us, so it'd be a pretty easy just smackdown. But then she's also pretty far from
what we're trying to accomplish.
We're trying to get to.
I think maybe just send her to the something unknown. See what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
Because everyone will be moving this way anyway.
Great. This is perfect for her. We have a 3% chance of being poisoned, or we could use a focus and literally have no % chance of being poisoned.
I say we use a focus.
Okay. Do you think 93 is enough? I think 93.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Alright, search. We got it. We gained an item. Hey, +3 focus for 1 focus is pretty solid. So we'll collect that, and then... Do we want her to try to move in an ambush here?
Realistically, she hasn't lost any health.
She only has a 57% chance of succeeding.
Now she got an 86.
You want to do that?
Might as well. And we do have the golden root, which you can... Golden root, I think it was? Which will give us more
It does
focus.
give us +3, so we could just take this to 98 and then use it at the end.
We might as well. Just clear another enemy.
Or we can use it here, keep it at 86, and then use 1 during the combat.
Yeah, let's do that. That gives more options.
Alright, we got it. We hit the 86. Success.
Perfect.
Which means we do fight a singular crow.
Okay, cool.
Which has 5 health. And we do 7 damage. And we take 2 turns before it. We win.
Done. Done.
But this is how you get golden XP, right? Like, she just got 3 XP for that. So we'll go ahead and just have her collect that. She also got a vision scroll. It removes clouds and finds all hidden locations within the given radius on the overworld map.
Okay, cool.
That's not bad.
That's helpful.
We need to remember we have that.
Yes. Oh, we should be able to forget. It's in the inventory down there.
Yeah. All right, great. Intern?
Yeah, intern. All right.
Good old Jester.
Oh, he hits all of them.
We want to be getting down as fast as he can.
Yes. Oh,
this is where it's telling us that we can focus movement.
got it.
On the overworld map, press the focus button to convert available focus points into movement points.
Okay, good.
If we wanted to. And we want to get him down to here.
Yes. Because he has the most talent.
Can we move through these camps?
I think we can if you keep going. I think it showed that you could before.
I can travel through this anyways.
Oh, might as well just do that.
Oh, alright, we got ambushed by a swarm. We can try to sneak past them.
Okay.
We can just fight, or we can ambush. Now the problem is if we fail in ambush, they get the ambush on us.
Oh.
So I think here we probably just fight.
Let's fight.
So here we fight. They are all 3 going to get a turn before we do, which is not good.
No.
They stole gold.
Oh, rude.
We've been robbed a tinder pouch and God's beard. I wonder if we get that back by killing them. We
Probably.
really
hopefully.
better.
It'd be rude. They
All right,
steal
we'll
it. We
just
don't
take
get it
one
back.
out here. We're definitely taking some damage, but...
Yeah.
Oh, they ran away with our stuff. You piece of crap.
How rude.
I really hope we get the tinder pouch back.
Dead.
Ah, we got the god spirit back. Okay.
You know what? We got something back.
Hey, we got some dancing metal for it.
Perfect.
The pouch is worth a lot more, right? That's the camp that we can set up.
So. Oh, yes. Yes.
That's a big L, but it's fine. Alright, maybe end here?
Yeah, end there. That's a good place. Because seriously, next turn we can get him to where he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we'll go ahead and end his turn. And then we've got good old Gobber here. What? I know. For those of you that can't see us, which is all of you, she was pointing out the fact that we're almost at our hour video, which is fine. We'll be closing out here. I'm just going to get Gobber going back to where the rest of us are going. We might actually go ahead and take on this camp while we're all here, honestly.
Yeah, we're pulling all of us.
We might start the next one with that. Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Dead Adventurer. We'll go ahead and loot him. Why not? Go ahead and get the...
Oh!
Okay, now hold up. Iron Foil Hat. It gives the party +1 resistance, and it's Curse Immunity, Confuse Immunity, and Scare Immunity. I feel like that's a Jester thing, right? Like that's gotta be a...
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be a Jester thing, which will be interesting because we can. They won't end right next to each other, but they can end close enough that in the future we can get them.
Yes.
I wonder if we can Field of Herbs again.
Maybe.
Because it didn't go away. That's interesting. Alright, well, we can't even get there with him. He had a nice day, +2 movement.
I'm so happy for him.
Well, that means we can actually go straight into this.
Let's do it.
Alright, we'll end with the combat here. Why not? Fight.
See what happens.
There's more of you. You should really consider joining us instead.
No thanks, actually.
Alright,
okay.
who do we want to take out first?
Probably the one at 14. Easier to take
One
out.
The 14, yeah, the 14 maybe. All
yeah,
right, we'll just
faster
start.
to take out.
Oh, that's not great.
No.
All right, don't kill us, please. Good, we blocked
it.
Good stuff. Oh, okay,
dodged.
inflamed is not good.
No, we're burning.
All right, magic damage. We can either continue focusing this guy down, or we can do magic to the dude that has physical resistance, right? Because that's what that 4 armor is. So I think we should do magic against him. Even if it's only 4.
It's still better than nothing.
That's really bad. Oh, Steadfast coming in clutch. That was huge. Okay, I think we probably just try to end this guy.
Yes.
All right, he's dead.
Ah, perfect.
Nice. Wiped him out. Ooh, Inflamed is doing its thing. We probably call a shot at this guy.
You know what? 4 is better than nothing.
It is.
Oh.
Oh,
okay,
and
we're
she's
all
inflamed. Yep, that's not great.
Alright.
Let's see. Magic guy probably on him again.
Probably, yeah.
Because again, that's good. That's always good.
Take that.
He's gonna get an attack out, but a beautiful dodge from our good old Jester. All right, I think we'd still just focus this guy down, probably, or maybe we focus this guy down because he has his turn next, so he highlights them who's coming up.
Okay.
And we should be able to finish him off here. That's still enough.
It is.
That's still enough. Now we have 2 people to work on the leader and a magic guy.
All right.
Oh shoot. We can do the no resistance one.
Might as
Ignores armor. That's probably pretty smart. Yep. That's still. It only ignores armor on perfect. I wasn't paying attention. Jester's almost dead. It's fine.
Our Jester is gonna die.
Jeez.
Oh, our Jester's gonna be dead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Magic damage. He's gonna die. It's fine.
Okay. We made it.
Holy crap.
Barely.
We did barely make it. All right, we're gonna share the gold. Books of Lore, great. That is gonna go to our Bard, right?
Yes.
So collect that from the Bard. +1 resistance, +1 magic damage, +1 max focus. Magic damage is gonna go to the Bard.
Yes.
Oh, I should have been equip, but it's fine. Okay, any Hoosers. Thanks for dealing with those pointy-hatted weirdos, but I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of them.
I agree.
The chaos has been reduced. Okay, great. Outro time. Thank you, everyone, for watching the video. We will hopefully have more of these up soon, but if not, that's because we decided to not continue with the series. But again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, let us know down in the comments below. And until next time, peace out.